Let's initialize our project by typing export init. What would you like to name your app? Let's give it a name of KNUST AIM. We then proceed with a blank minimal template. So in here, it will start installing our JavaScript dependencies. So now that the installation is done, let's cd into our KNUST AIM. Let's open the folder in VS Code with this command, code and a period. When we take a clear look at the AIM app, it consists of a screen where the user will be entering the reference number, that's the student ID, and this screen also leads to another screen where the user will specify the username and password with his credentials. Let's start by creating a folder and name it as screens. Within the screen folder, let's create a file and name it as referencescreen.js. And also let's create another file and name it as LoginScreen.js. So let's use the React Native snippet to generate the template of the whole thing. We do that by typing rnfex, that's React Native Functional Export Component with a style sheet. Let's write some text for now. There's the login screen. Let's do the same as we did for the login screen. So with the reference screen, let's use the snippet that's React Native Functional Component with a style sheet. Let's start by writing some text for now. There's the reference screen. You can get the React Native snippets from the extensions when you search ex7 react/react/graphql/react native snippets. Let's open our app.js file and start importing the login screen and also the reference screen as well. We do that by using the // to specify the path, and we navigate through the screen folder. So in here, let's try to return the login screen. Let's run yarn 100 to view it on the emulator. So in here, you can see our application is running on the SDK phone. There we go. You can see this is the login screen on the emulator. Let's try returning the reference screen as well. We can also see the reference screen. There we go. This was what we were expecting. So let's proceed to the reference screen and start writing some code. When we look at the reference screen, we can see some text and an avatar image with a background color of red. So let's start working on that. Let's start by creating a folder and name it as components. Within the components folder, let's create a file and name it as headerref.js. Let's use the ex6 snippet to generate the template of the whole thing. That's rnfex. Let's create a folder within the assets folder and name it as images. So in here, it will be containing all our images on this project. Let's clear the text for now and also the view as well and return the safe area view. So in here, we need to import it from React Native. So within the safe area view, let's return another view. And also within that view, let's return the image component there. It's a self-closing tag. We need to also import the image from React Native. The image has a property called source, so we need to specify the source of the image. Since our image is local and is found within the asset folder, we use the require method. So in here, we use the // to specify the path. navigate through the asset folder and also the image folder. Then you proceed to give the name of the image. When we check the asset folder and also the image folder, we can see the aim.png there. Let's give some styles to the image. Let's give it a width of 150, a height of 70, display flat, and also a margin top of 20 to push it from the top. Let's import our header ref screen and our reference screen. So import header ref from .. This time around is found within the components folder and the name of the file, which is header ref. Let's clear the text now and return the header ref. It's a self-closing tab. Oh, there we go. We found the aim image on the screen. Let's proceed. Let's import dimensions from React Native. And also let's create a constant variable of a width and height and assign the dimension. We use the get method and pass in a window to get the entire window of the screen. Let's give some styles to the view within which our image is found. So let's give it a width of width. This means it should take the entire width, and also a height divided by 4. The background color of this, that's the red color. And also within the image, let's specify one more styling, a left of width divided by 3. Let's start the save area view. Let's align items at the center and also justify content center. Wow, there we go. You can see our aim text is found within the middle with a background color of red. So when you take a clear look at the reference screen, it also consists of an avatar. Let's proceed to do so. Let's run this command, yarn add React Native elements. I'll be using yarn throughout my project. One can work with npm install React Native element. Another one can also work with expo install React Native element. So in here I'll be using yarn. So yarn add React Native element. So within the React Native element, we can get the avatar there. So now that the installation is done, let's import the avatar from React Native element. Let's create one more view in here. Within that view, let's render the avatar component. It's a self-closing tag. The avatar has a property of rounded, which means the avatar should have a circle shape, and also it has a size property. Let's give it a size of extra large. It also has a source property. We need to specify the source of the avatar. So in here, our avatar is found within the asset folder and the image folder as well. So we navigate through the asset folder and also the image folder and give the name of the avatar. So in here, I've named it avatar.jpg. So when you check within the asset folder and the image folder, we can see our avatar in there. Whoa, there we go. We can see our avatar in the middle having that rounded shape with a property of an extra large. Let's proceed. Let's import the input and the button from React Native elements. So beneath the header ref, we need to specify a view. Within that view, let's return the input as a self-closing tag. So in here, the input has a property of type. So let's specify the type to be a number, since the user will be entering the reference number, and also a placeholder which says enter your student ID. It also has a property called value. So let's give the name of the value as student ID. So let's create a state for that. To do that, we need to import Usestate from React. Usestate is a hook in React that accepts 2 parameters with a current state, and the next parameter is the one that updates the current state. So in here, the current state will be the student ID, and the next one will be set the student ID and assign a usestate of an empty string to that. It also has a keyboard type. Let's give it a keyboard type of numeric, since we'll be entering our reference number. And also we need to secure our text. We do that with secure text entry. It also has a property called onChange text. So in here, it grabs the text the user is entering and use the set student ID to update the text the user is entering. Let's render the button as well. It's a self-closing tag. The button has a property called title. So let's give the title as next, and also let's give some stylings to the button, a background color of red, and also a width of 300, some border radius of 20. Okay, there we go. We need to also give some stylings to the input as well, a padding of 18, width of 300, and a margin top of 100, just to push it from the top. Let's give some style to the view as well by aligning items at the center and also justifying content at center. Let's also render one more view beneath the button. Let's return the avatar component, and also we need to import it from React Native Elements. Let's give it a size of small. It should be rounded as well, and also we need to specify the source. It's found within the asset/images and the name of the avatar. Let's copy it 5 more times. So in here, we need only to change the name of the image. So we have the notification image, we have the fees image, and also we have the results image, the profile image as well, the slip image, and also the registration image as well. So when we check within the asset folder and also the image folder, you can see all these images there: the fees, notification, profile, registration, results, and slip as well. There we go. Let's proceed to write some code. Let's give some styles to the avatar as well. Let's give it a flex direction of row to align it horizontally, and also justify content center. And also you need to give it a margin top of 270 just to push it from the top. When we focus on the input, it pops up the numeric keypad. This was possible when you specified the keyboard type to be numeric. And also when you keep on entering the numbers, it changes to dot. This was due to the secure text entry we specify. Let's move on. So in here we can see we are done with our reference screen, everything nicely formatted as we expected. We need to work on the login screen as well. So when you enter your student ID, you hit on next, then you'll be navigated to another screen. So we need to work on the login screen as well. So remember, in the login screen we have a text which says this is the login screen. So we are now going to work on the login screen. It won't take my time. We only need to import the header ref just to format the header, and also with 2 inputs, one specified as username and the other specified as password. Wow, there we go. So in here we can see our header ref component being rendered nicely with a text beneath it which says this is the login screen. Let's copy the code within the reference screen, it looks much similar. All we need is to add one input where it will be specified as password, and also we need to change a couple of things in there. So let's copy that and paste it within the login screen. Since the input is username, it requires the type to be test, and also the placeholder to be username, and also a value should be specified as username, not student ID. We need to clear the keyboard type and also the secure text entry as well. Let's import Usestate from React to keep track of the values. Let's copy one more line of code from the reference screen and paste in there. So in here, the parameters will be changed to username and set username and assign a usestate of an empty string to that. So we need to change the value to username. Let's copy one more input. It will have the same type as test, a placeholder of password, and also the value will be password. Set username will be changed to set password. So we need to create one more state, and in there the parameters will be password and set password, and assigning the usestate of an empty string. We need to change the title of the button as well. Let's give it a title of verify, and also the button has a property called type. Let's specify the type to be clear. It should have a clear button with the same styling. Let's specify one more view below the button. Within that view, let's render the test component, and let's write forget password. Let's give some style to the view within which the test is found, a margin top of 15 just to push it from the top. And also we need to import touchable opacity from React Native and wrap the test components within a touchable opacity. We need to import the input, button, and avatar as well within the login screen. It's very important. So in here, our JavaScript bundle is being built. Wow, there we go. Everything is nicely formatted with an input of username, password, and a button of verify. It also have a touchable forget password test in there. Let's create one more file within the component folder and name it as header.js. We need to copy the code in the header ref.js and paste it within the header.js. All we need to change is the name of the header ref, and also where the avatar is specified as avatar.png, we need to change it from avatar.png to code.png. Oh, sorry, it's avatar.jpg. That's the extension for the image. Wow, we can see our image in there. Correct. So we are done with the login screen. So when we try to return the reference screen, you can see enter your student ID. And also when we try to return the login screen, we have two inputs. One is the username and the other is the password. So we need navigation to handle this. That's what we'll be teaching in our next build. So stay tuned. If you found this video to be useful, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe as well, and leave a comment in the section below. share for the video to reach many. See you in our next build that will be handling of navigation between the two screens, that's the reference screen and the login screen. Until then, stay tuned.